Indie Movie.
Hey Indie Mogul, my name is Zack Finfrock, the host of Backyard FX, where we show you how to make Hollywood special effects on a backyard budget. Today's tutorial is a special one. It's been requested more than any effect on Backyard FX. The Assassin's Creed Hidden Blade. The Hidden Blade tutorial. Now when I say this has been requested forever, it's been requested even before I was host on Backyard FX. In fact, I have every single name ever requesting this build. Let's begin. Axe Murderable, The X-Foe, Chef for Life, MVs, Moon Mellow Films, Burger King 02, Decorabid, Soda Pop Army, Guitar Hero 3SH, The Roller Coaster Fan 97, Field Operatives 515, Deathmaker 98, Michael Jackson 199, and the Jazz Falcon. Now that I've read literally every name that's ever requested this build before, let's go to Puppet Zack to find out how much it's going to cost. Hey Puppet Zack, spin the wheel! Oh. Right. Metal tent stake, a metal drawer slide, miscellaneous screws and bolts, key rings, tiny eye hole screws, small springs, metal mirror wire, a couple old leather belts, power drill, Dremel, and hot glue.
This build's difficulty level is 9.
Time lapse. Woo!
The first thing I need to do is take out the middle part of the drawer slide. Since it's 3 tiers, I only need the first 2. Then, I realized 14 inches for the drawer slide's way too long for a forearm, so I have to cut it all down. I trimmed the smallest piece first, just to make sure it would still slide, and then I trimmed the second tier piece, so it wasn't really long for my forearm. I made sure to make a little tab, so the pieces wouldn't slide out the bottom. Just keep messing around with it to make sure your drawer slide piece will be the right size for this build. Since most drawer slides are different, you kind of have to toy around with it a little bit. At this point, I need to draw a small hole in the top piece for the spring, so it can be spring loaded. Drill a small hole in the top piece, and then 2 small holes on the bottom piece, but make sure the spring doesn't stop it from sliding back and forth. And then the spring will run underneath. Turns out the little sliding piece has a lock underneath it that stopped the spring from letting it slide. So all I did was take the ball bearing piece, flip it upside down, and that worked just fine. Next, take a metal tent stake and start cutting it down and hammering it flat. It already has the general shape of a blade, but I wanted to make it a little more authentic to an Assassin's Creed blade. So I shaved the edges a little bit with my Dremel. Keep in mind, I'm not making this into an actual blade. I'm just making it more into the shape. It's still really dull. Next, I need to make a hair trigger. I bent a piece of wire into this general shape, drilled a hole into the bottom piece, and put a screw and a nut through. As you can see, just a little trigger here. Then I added a spring to it, so it stayed open. After drilling small holes and making sure the blade fits into the rail, I needed to make sure that the blade is also going to act as the trigger mechanism. So, you have to cut a little groove into the end of the tent stake. So when you push the tent stake back, it gets stuck right there on the hair trigger. One of the last things you do is glue on the eye hole screws to the back of it so you can guide the metal wire itself. Then attach the metal wire at the right length for one of your fingers Then, attach a length of wire onto a keyring for one of your fingers for the trigger system. After making a small bracer with the leather belts, you're done. Alright, so now you know how to build this awesome rig. But before you go building it, or even using it, we need to talk safety. Feels like deja vu.
Alright, so now you know how to build this awesome rig, but before you go building it or even using it, we need to talk safety. First off, this is a spring-loaded rig, so depending on how strong a spring you use, this could easily hurt yourself or someone else. Second, this rig is to be used exclusively on a closed and secured set, not out on the street, and attached to the end is for props only. Be careful!
Nah, just my imagination. Now this is an effect I've been... No.
Relax your hands, please.
3, 2.
They're getting worried! That's it for our most requested BFX build to date. It's done. It's over. No more requesting the hidden blade, alright? Because it's done. Okay, tune in tomorrow for the test film. As you just saw, we're not showing you any footage in this episode. You have to watch it tomorrow. We've been planning it for a long time, and I'm sure it's just going to blow everybody out of the water. Leave a comment below. Let me know what you thought of the blade itself. Maybe if you got some different variations of how you would do it, please let us know, and I'll see you next week.
If you want your young actor to look older or maybe just be a punk, you can have him drink beer, which is actually cream soda. Just get it in a glass bottle. It's like cream soda except darker and it tastes good.